driving in. I would imagine you're driving in as well, and kind of got it on lock in your mind what we're going to talk about. We'll do a little this, do a little that. We'll talk a little Antonio Brown. We'll talk a little Ezekiel Elliott and this. And then all of a sudden, Dwight Howard wants to look like he is going to be signed with the Lakers. And I know you are Mr. Laker fandom. We've had many of our debates and arguments and some agreements about the state of the Lakers over the last year or so. So I walk in, and oh man, what's up? We catch up. We talk about again the rundown. Then I said, yeah, and then we'll probably start with Dwight. You said, wait, hold on, what? I said, yeah, this just happened. Dwight Howard now expected to sign with the Lakers once he passes all the waivers, and nobody is signing Dwight. You don't have to worry about that. So if you're anti-Dwight Howard and you're hoping that somebody picks him up off the waivers, you can just cancel that thought. So your immediate thought when you hear that some prominent Laker players, of course, Anthony Davis, LeBron, maybe another player or two, met with them. They've had conversation with them. The team is reportedly basically telling him, number one, the back is supposed to be healthy. Supposedly he lost some weight, about almost 25, 30 pounds, and he's looking good, feeling good, and the team has basically said, we're not in the mood for your BS, so we need you to bring it. You, Mr. Laker fan, me telling you this, how do you feel?
So personally, I'm not a Dwight Howard fan. From his first stint at the Lakers where Kobe Bryant calls him soft and he just couldn't – remember – that's the year Kobe blew his Achilles out.
Yep.
And Kobe had gotten them to the playoffs. So I was like, okay, here's a chance for Dwight Howard to be what he wanted to be, right? He was going to be that guy now. Kobe was hurt. So he was going to be that guy. So I was expecting him to show up and be that force in the playoffs, right? We had an okay team. Bunch of old guys, and Dwight Howard just didn't show up. He didn't show up for us as Laker Nation, and, he wanted the ball. Remember, that was his whole thing.
That was the whole thing.
I want the ball. Give me the ball. Okay, well, Kobe Bryant is going to be Kobe. So when Kobe went down, this was your opportunity to get the ball. It was all you. You got it. You can do the little stiff jump hook or
man, that jump hook was
so stiff. Good. He wanted the ball, right? It was him. Look at me. Give me the ball. I'm going to rock it. I'm going to do my thing. So we gave him the ball. He did not rock it. He did not do his thing. And therefore, the Lakers suffered. And anyone who can make my team suffer, then I'm not a fan of you. Period. That's just how I feel.
Now, because I know that you are a well-versed man, you are a nuanced man. Is there any part of you that says allows for the redemptive factor? Meaning, okay, that was him. What are we now? 6-7 years ago. From that season, but now he's a new man. He's allegedly in better shape. His back's feeling better. I mean, could there be that? Because I would argue, when we talked about this a moment before we got on, we said, let's shut up and make sure we have this for the air. My challenge when it comes to thinking about Dwight Howard. So people already throw around the debate of, is he a Hall of Famer? And majority of the people I have these discussions with actually say yes. And then I kind of looked at his run that he had, like a good 5-year, 6-year run. You're like, all right, by the numbers, especially compared to other people, he might be, and especially because the NBA lets guys in. But the challenge I've had when we talk about, so you say he wanted the ball and he didn't really show out and do his thing. Did Dwight Howard max out and that was, we should be happy where he maxed out? Meaning when he came into the league, it was so raw. Literally just all you are is an athlete. There's nothing else. Like you said, you can't shoot a free throw. You don't have a jump hook. You cannot pass the ball really well. You're just a muscle-bound guy who this could work. Actually, we had to put some muscle on you after the first couple of seasons. But then we wanted him to be like Shaq, or we wanted him to be this dominant force, that he just, to me, I feel like he wasn't. So did he max out? And we should be almost impressed. Like, here's a guy who came straight out of high school and now he might be a Hall of Famer? Or did we want more out of him? I'm torn in between, because parts of me feels like, look, that's the best we can get out of this kid who didn't play college ball, came straight out of high school, and now, again, on that Hall of Fame-ish level.
Okay, so when we can't put him in categories, which was unfair to him, right? He took the moniker of Superman, right?
Man, you talk about he wish he went with another. He was Spider-Man
and Shaq.
Iron Man.
He could have been any man except for Superman because Shaq had that. The man still had that on lock.
Yep.
And his performance on the court exemplified that. So Dwight Howard comes in and he got hops and he's winning dunk contests and all of that. The problem I had was in an era where there are not a lot of centers in the game, right? He came in 2004, but by the time 2008 rolls around, there are really no centers like that, right? So you can dominate. You can, and the league had been, I granted, the league had begun to change.
Yes.
To the long ball, the three-point shot. But in an era where there's no competition at center, number one, you should be grabbing everything off the rim and thunder dunking it back, right? Your teammates should know that it's a mismatch every time someone's guarding you, and you should draw them in and be able to kick out to open it up for your teammates. He just wasn't dominant enough, and he, in the middle of his career, his best season was 2010, 23 points a game, 14 rebounds. Right? That's
nice.
That's strong to quite strong. But then he dropped off every year after that. Right? And it wasn't any competition.
But I would argue he just didn't have a skill set. And I'm not even making excuses up for him, because one of the things that I think you can make up for is effort. You can make up for being a better teammate. You can make up for running a better offensive scheme instead of just give me the ball. Well, first of all, when we give you the ball, they foul you. You miss free throws. All right, we give you the ball, they know, hey, here comes that across the middle terrible jump hook. So you didn't become more versatile. You didn't add to your artillery. How we always hear guys say every summer, I find a new move, or like right now, James Harden is stepping fade away, one-legged out of bounds fadeaways threes. That's like his new move. So guys get new moves. He never got that. He never really, you felt as if he got much better after a certain point, maybe that 2010 season. And so he peaked. And I think when Kobe called him soft, and Kobe, he does that to people. He called Powell, get your big boy pants on, and so-and-so and this guy. And by the way, Mush Parker still having nightmares. He's just waking up in cold sweats thinking about Kobe. But certain guys can respond well to that, right? Powell said, all right, I might not even agree with how you said it, but you know what? I'm with it. Let's go. Let's ball in to the tune of two rings for those guys. Dwight did not handle that well at all. And whether you agree with Kobe or not, he didn't pick up that challenge and say, I'm going to show you something. And like you said, really, from there on, he went down. He's been on 4 or 5 teams since then. Nobody looks at him as a serious guy. But the real question becomes now, like staying focused on the now that he is potentially going to be signed with the Lakers, can he contribute now? So can he give them the 15 to 20 minutes a game and have a some type of impact where you go, that it was worth it?
So the current situation he's in now when it pertains to our Lakers is last year at the Wizards, he averaged 13 points a game and 9 rebounds in 25 minutes. I'm okay with that, right? For a non-guaranteed $5 million, right. I'm okay with that. That means we'll get plenty of production for that price, and it won't hurt us. I'm completely okay. If he can bring that stat line, then I'm okay, because that means he subs in, he comes in, he gives AD a break or whatever it is. I don't even know if he starts. Does he start? Right? And I guess it depends on who you're playing.
Yeah, because, you could say no, but then it's like, so does that mean JaVale starting?
I would much rather JaVale McGee start. Much rather.
And not to mention the familiarity. He's already been there a year. So
but you got to realize JaVale McGee was having his best year.
He played very well.
For the first 2-3 months of the season before Tyson Chandler came in, and they started messing with the lineup with him and Zubac, and they had a lot of bigs, right? So it kind of really took JaVale McGee out of his game a little bit.
JaVale played well, man. He was hitting.
He was balling.
Shots.
He was averaging about 15, 16 points a game, double-digit rebounds.
He fits that. He
2
fits
blocks,
those guys too,
right? As a starter, at the first couple months of the season. And they just didn't – Luke was messing with the lineup. I don't know what was going on there. But to have Dwight Howard come in and give us those type of minutes, right, 20, 25 minutes a game, you can put up 12 points, you grab 10 rebounds. That's good for us. We're going to miss Boogie Cousins because he was young, coming off injury, but that's 25 and 12 all day long. We don't have that. Okay, I get it. Now – Dwight at this point in his career, at this price, is an okay fit for the Lakers, and it's non-guaranteed.
So, okay, but now you're selling me like you're all right with this. Initially, you didn't sound. You said I didn't want that guy on my team.
I did not.
Then he said, well, check the tape.
No, I'm serious. But you got to remember, look at production plus costs.
That is a key component,
right? So now, the first half of this conversation, I was speaking as a fan. The second half of this conversation, I'm speaking as a GM, all right, or a president of basketball operations. If we can get Dwight Howard to come in and give us 12, 13 points a game with 9, 10 rebounds for this price, that's going to bode well for us this year.
I don't even need all that from him. I think that's a bonus. If he gave me a real 8-8,
we need more than 8-8.
But I just
we can't do it. We can't do 8-8.
Here's what I mean by 8-8. There are going to be games he gives you 18. You know what I mean? There's games, but there's going to be some nights where
I don't need 6 from him. I don't need any night where I get 6.
But if I got 6, but I got 14, 15 rebounds in the block, I'm all right with that.
I get it.
There's a certain point in your career, like I don't need that from you. Like KG realized at a certain point, all right, I'm about to just lock guys up.
So let me tell you this. The reason I said we can't do 6, can't even do 8. I don't want 8 or 6. Is because the value of Dwight Howard, what we're going to need him to do is on the offensive glass. This is a shooter's league, all right? Dwight Howard, 6'11", 260 pounds, got the shoulders, got all of that. When that ball comes off the rim, off on an offensive side, I need him to grab it and put it back. Don't kick it out. I don't need him to get the ball and kick it back out to the 3. I need him to grab the ball and go up and power dunk. That's going to get me in double digits tonight if he can do that. The amount of outside shots that are happening in today's NBA.
I think with the team they have and the guy and talking about Anthony Davis who could give you 25, almost 30. LeBron can give you the exact same amount. I just think you're a little bit more optimistic on the points. The points don't necessarily matter to me. It's more the like you said, getting me those rebounds, getting me that effort, getting me those back rim blocks. That's more what I need. I don't necessarily need the points. We'll continue the conversation. We want to hear from you, 877-996-6369. Dwight Howard expected to sign with the Lakers, $5 million, non-guaranteed. A few Lakers went and spent some time with him, talked to him, found out that he's in better shape, lost 30 pounds. So I kind of tease with this. What's interesting to me is that this is not that he should dictate anything at this point, but I thought that was an interesting move to sign Dwight Howard based off the relationship he had with arguably the second greatest, depending on your generation, the first greatest Laker. Like, you know what I mean? He left disdain in Kobe's mouth. Like, I can't stand him. He's soft. They didn't see eye to eye. I just don't. He's not that type of guy. He's not a Mamba mentality guy. And for the Lakers to go ahead and then sign him, I thought that was interesting, especially kind of how we always have that Kobe, LeBron debate and all that kind of stuff. I just thought that was interesting that they would go back to something. So that just shows me, whether it ends up being the right move or not, that this regime is willing to be different.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Because there's no way the old regime would go back to something, not back to something that worked. Like all of a sudden, I'm trying to think of a guy that worked. Not Lamar Odom. Let's say he got in amazing shape, both mentally and physically. And they're like, we're gonna bring him in. Okay, welcome back, Lamar. That did not end well at all with Dwight. And so for them to go get him, and to your point, it's not like he has been playing amazing basketball. We have questions with his basketball. We've had questions with his health, and then even things off the court that. Just things off the court. And so it's just an interesting signing for them. But I do think that is, to me, the key that's showing how really it's LeBron's team. And if LeBron and Anthony Davis say, we can work with this guy. He fits what I want to do. LeBron's going to be playing more point guard if that's even possible. I can set this guy up. I can dump it down to him, get him some easy buckets. Yeah, we could use him. To me, that just shows that the regime is willing to do whatever it takes to win, because I just don't think that old regime would have.
All they want him to do is play hard. that was the problem Kobe Bryant had. Kobe Bryant was trying to win championships.
Ain't that crazy? You got to tell somebody that at 30-something years old?
Yeah, but, just the goofy nature of it and like when you don't come from a place of excellence, you don't know how to strive for excellence, right? And Kobe Bryant had built up his game and his mentality based on one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And he expected everyone to have the same level of competitive desire and drive, which they don't.
Not on that level. That's why he's beating everybody up in practices.
But to be the biggest guy on the court and air quotes somewhat the softest guy on the court, that's not what you need when you're going for a championship, right? Like, you need to just be able to be like, yo, Dwight, let's do it. Put him in the rim. He played with Shaq. You know what I mean? He played with Shaq. So it's like he knew what a big man was supposed to be like and play like. And Dwight had built himself up to be Superman and do all of this and do all of that. You getting paid like it.
That was the if in a career there's ever a moment where you kind of go, I wish I could have that back. That was the thing, because he put on the Superman, and to his credit, when he put on the Superman, look what was happening. He was winning Defensive Player of the Year. He was winning dunk contests. He had made it to a NBA Finals. So you're like, yeah, maybe he is. Shaq cut him some slack. Maybe he is the next Superman. Yeah, he was more like who was the small, like, whack superhero that we never read? Green Lantern?
Small whacks.
Green Lantern? He was more like Green Lantern. Let's take a quick call. We got to get to what's trending. After that, we'll go to Richard out in Victorville.
Rich.
Hey, guys, can you hear me okay?
I got you.
We got you.
The thing that really ticks me off is I understand why they're bringing him back, because they don't have any choice. They need somebody. But when he was there the first time, Kareem offered to help him with his post-up game, and he said, no, thanks, I'm good.
That's a great point.
And to turn him down, that means he's clueless. He is clueless. And I saw him the other night on the thing with Christine Leahy, and she says, what would you say to somebody coming into the league now? He said, well, have fun. Have fun. That guy is so stupid. He's lucky that they're putting him back on the court. Really, the guy's clueless.
Hey, Richard, we appreciate the call, Big Rich.